here a little bit early this morning because I had to go see a doctor, and I hated to take off and leave everybody a little bit short, but Christian came in, filled in for us. But
Great people.
I'm gonna, like a good employee that I am, even though I am the owner, I'm still an employee of the company. I've got to make my time up, okay? So I decided to come on in, do the right thing, do the American thing, and just make my time up. So, you know, I'm not beholden to anybody like that. But a friend of mine stopped by, Daniel from Daniel's Roofing. We always have a kind of a, and I can say this literally, a fireside chat. Look behind you.
Man.
Yeah, we got the fireplace going in here, so it's kind of like.
I keep hearing about all these changes at the office here.
Yeah, we're
I had to
making a
come
few.
check it out.
Yeah, so we're having a fireside chat here in the studio, and if you haven't been by, a lot of you don't know, we're remodeling and redoing things around here at the studios, and we added a fireplace in here, and we got some more things we're going to do. So anyway, it's kind of a cozy atmosphere. I love talking to folks in here. And Daniel came by, used to on a pretty regular basis. Haven't seen him here for a while, so I'm glad he stopped by to kind of give us an update on what's going on at Daniel's Roofing. Wintertime's still here. We're about 60 days into actually springtime. March 21st, I think, will be the first day of spring, but it's already starting to warm up here a little bit. We're going to be, Daniel, looking at highs of the 50s today, 60 by Friday. So it's starting to warm up, and that means roofing season is going to be taking off here real soon, right?
That's right. Boy, this weather feels good.
Yeah.
I was out today. It's like, man, even yesterday.
It was like springtime.
So this is definitely the time to get your roof list on the schedule.
Here's the thing. When you go through so much of this extreme climate change, we went from how hot it got up to the 105, 107 back in July and August. Remember that?
Very hot.
Yeah. And then you go to extreme cold. 7 degrees.
Yeah,
that does so much damage to a roof. People don't really think about it, do they?
They don't. But that's pure 100% weather exposure.
Exactly.
You know, because people and tools and things can be put inside. That's different. But the roof, that's what protects everything.
It's the first line of defense.
So, but at Daniel's Roofing, Fred, I always appreciate coming by here, you know, and you know how companies go through changes and they go through things that they use, and they look back and they check and they reflect, checks and balances, and everything.
Sure.
For a company to grow, you have to do that.
That's right.
You got to figure out where your company's spending money.
Sure.
Where you're earning money, how you spend it, whether you spend it wisely or foolishly, you know, and I'm always telling our guys, when we're looking at ad budget, I said, I don't care what you do. We're advertising with 106.1. These guys are true. They have an audience that 250,000 of people. Where else would I be able to get on the mic like this and tell everybody about Daniel's Roofing?
Yeah.
There's no other thing that I know of, you know, unless you're the president, then just more people looking at you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, but we're only doing roofs here in Southeast Missouri anyway.
Right.
It's local right here.
Right.
So this is the best money spent for any company that wants to grow their business, is a radio station like 106.1.
And folks, I didn't entice him to say that either. That's just off the cuff. So I appreciate that.
It's true.
What an
it's true.
endorsement.
You know,
that's a great endorsement.
when we started working together,
yeah,
our jobs, our company grew. I mean, you could tell. In fact, I go out and visit these old farmers. I love visiting farmers. That's what, you know. We have the satellite technology. We have all these things that we could actually price a roof from the computer, which is fine. But what I like to do is if I can at all possible, I like to go visit Farmer Jones.
One-on-one.
I want to walk the roof. I want to go visit. I want to go up a ladder. I want to walk it. I want to see what it feels like, if it's solid. I want to put a tape measure on it. I want to take some close-up pictures. I want to share those pictures on the ground where it's safe. with the customer. I want to show it to them what's going on. They're going to see the whole picture. Sometimes I take videos. It's not just me. All of our salespeople do that.
Right.
We have several salespeople that go and visit people every day. And they're going to get free, no obligation roof inspection with, it's like, okay, what would we do if this was our roof?
Well, that's called transparency.
Yes.
Is what you're doing. And that way the customer feels like he can trust you, because there's too many people out here doing too many things that you don't know if they're being on the up and up. But
That's
when
right.
you go out there and you actually physically take the pictures, you come down and you show the homeowner,
Let them decide.
show them, here's what's going on up here.
That's right. We're just there to kind of help them along the process, educate the customer a little bit. Just like if you go to a doctor, you want the doctor to tell you what they know,
Well, sure.
and then let you help them make a decision.
Absolutely.
And that's what we kind of are. We're like the roof doctors.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good thing.
We're like the roof doctors.
Good analogy.
Yeah. We go and visit, and sometimes you just need a little bit of medicine.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need surgery.
Yeah.
But there's hope.
So what you're saying, sometimes you don't have to replace the entire
Not
roof.
always. No, yeah, not always. But sometimes we go up the roof and there's like hail damage, wind damage, and you're asking for more trouble.
And that's something that most people cannot ascertain themselves by being on the ground.
No.
You look at the roof, oh, it looks okay to me. It's, I don't see no shingles blown off, but there's damage to those shingles.
You got to look at it close.
That's it.
You got to look at it, within a foot or 2 feet.
Yeah.
You got to examine it.
Yeah.
Almost. Kind of like you go to a doctor, you get an x-ray.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're doing. You're going up on the roof, you get it real close, you take a picture, and then when the insurance adjusters come, what they do is they take, first of all, they'll decide if there is hail damage. And if there is, they'll take a section that's about a 10 foot by 10 foot square. They'll take their chalk and they'll kind of line it out. And they'll count the
number of hails.
Amount of damage per 1 square.
Right.
Which is 10 feet by 10 feet, 100 square feet. And then if it's, different companies have different criterias. And if it's got, so much damage, then they're going to help you put a roof on.
Yeah.
A lot of good companies are out there. Some are trying to, they got that fine print, but you got that everywhere.
But most insurance companies want that roof to
They want
be
to
in
help.
good shape. And
That's
why?
right.
Because if something happens to that roof, that means something's going to happen underneath the roof to cause more damage. They would have to pay out more money.
Yes. And one other thing that we started doing brand new, this was Anthony's my co-owner.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
I'm a little guy right now. He's the big guy.
Okay.
He's got all the pressure, but God bless him.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job. All the team. We have Diana, we have Zane, we have Grant, the sales manager, production manager. We have 2 roofing crews, and we have a repair crew.
I remember the first time that he started with you. You brought him in here.
Yes, and he's been God sent.
I knew he would be good for you.
He is good. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Well, we were talking about, making sure that
something we started doing.
Yeah, new.
A product, ice and water barrier, which is a rubber membrane.
Right.
Well, we used to, by code, you're required to put them in the valleys.
That's right.
You're required to put them by the walls. Any kind of penetration through the roof, you put around that. Pipes, chimneys, pipe boots, anything like that.
Chimneys, anything, yeah.
Well, our company, from pure experience of taking old roofs, we have found that there's a lot of damage along the eave, because that's where that's where the last place the snow gets off, and it sits there, and there's moisture, there's condensation, and about 2 feet from the gutter is where the most of the damage is. If there's ever damage on the roof, it's right there. So what we've done, we basically went back to the drawing boards, like, okay, what can we do better? And it's a little more expensive. People don't want to even put that on the estimate to begin with, but it's the right thing to do. We can always take it away if somebody wants to, but it's not recommended. What we do is we put ice and water membrane around the whole perimeter of the roof as a standard.
I've never heard of that being done.
And basically what it means is, instead of putting the thinner synthetic felt paper on the very bottom, we're putting the thick rubber ice and water membrane, which is, It's probably thick as a quarter,
Okay.
a little thicker maybe.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
so what does that do now? Explain that to them.
well, what it does is it's thicker, it's rubber, and it prevents the condensation buildup underneath the felt
Okay.
because it does there. It's kind of like layers. There's layers, and then you have a thicker layer. So the rubber kind of acts like a insulation.
Yeah, you're right about something. As you were saying that, I've seen roofs, and this last snow and ice we got, where a lot of the
Last
ice
place.
would stay right there at the
very
bottom.
Right, just like the valleys.
Yeah.
But also at the very bottom, because that's the last place that snow's going to melt off.
That's exactly right.
In fact, as we had all this snow, I went back and I actually went and took pictures and I looked at roofs and I talked about it, even made a video. You could see a layer at the very, very bottom. You know, people don't think about little stuff like that, but it's just, you know, you just kind of notice things. And then based on noticing things, you change and you make better decisions for the future.
Adapt.
You adapt.
To become
And that's
better.
what you have to do.
To become better.
And then we'd educate the customers so that way they know what's going on and why they're putting, you know, why they're paying the price they're paying. And then, you know, we can always take away. But
Well, I'll tell you what it's called to me. It's called extra layer of insurance.
oh yeah,
It's going to
much
save
better.
money.
Much better.
It's going to save money in the
Lot
long
cheaper.
run,
That's right.
because you get water up underneath that bottom edge of that roof. You know what happens? Rot starts to deteriorate, and it'll get into your studs, get into everything else, and you've got a mess on your hands.
And Fred, there's one more thing that our company has really gotten heavy with is, you know how you go through a checkout line and, you know, you buy a fan or you buy any electronic. They're always asking you, hey, you want to extend the warranty
Oh, yeah.
for
Oh, yeah.
$17? Well, 90% of the time, I always say no, because it's just a waste of time. They're just, you know, who's going to worry about insurance or warranty on a $19 item?
No, you won't.
You won't.
No.
But a roof is a different story.
That's a different story.
That's a whole different ball game. So here's what the manufacturer, CertainTeed is one of the big ones that we use. Okay, for I believe $50 additional per square. So let's say a roof is, let's say a small house. Let's say it's 10 square. Okay, so $500. A customer will pay additional. Now check this out. Wait for this. $500 for a 50-year. You never replace a roof again for 50 years. Written, transferable after transferable if you sell the house or you leave the house to your children. You sign it off within 12 years to whoever. Within the first 12 years, you can sign that off. Maybe even longer. I don't have all them fine lines with me, but basically, what's going to happen is, if for some reason there is damage on your roof, if it's caused by hail or windstorm, your insurance kicks in. If your insurance comes and denies the claim, they say, okay, the product has failed. It's not wind damage. It's not hail damage. It's not weather related. It is the product itself.
Manufacturer related.
For 50 years, CertainTeed will back you, replace the material and labor, current price, whatever it costs. So that means for 50 years, you never have to worry about a new roof again.
That's a no-brainer.
It is.
And
I'm not a warranty guy.
I know, but in the big scheme of things, that's a no-brainer.
You know, in just a short period of time, we started doing roofing in this area in 2015.
Yeah.
And the cost of roofing has already right at doubled in 10 years. So imagine what it's going to do in 50 for someone.
Oh my God.
You know, so $10 per square is a bargain price to have your roof warranted for 10 years. You know, and I'm not all that big about warranties, but you know, we've done some educating on that.
Yeah.
We've been educated, we've been trained, and it's like, you know, this is a no-brainer. If you're going to spend $10,000 on the roof, spend $500 more, and you're done for 50 years.
You ain't got to worry about it.
No. So Daniels Roofing is now big on warranties.
You
I
just-
wasn't at first because I didn't fully understand everything.
I understand, but you just keep growing and growing
Yes.
and adding more value to what you do.
That's right.
So that's
So
the
we've
whole
been
key.
we've been going to regular trainings. Some of our guys even flew to Florida here a while back to get some more training. We're using the best products. We buy by bulk. We buy by the pallets. We have trucks coming to our warehouse. We felt, nails,
Sure.
things that we buy all the time.
Sure.
The shingles themselves, they're stored indoor at supplier here local, and then they brought out to the roof because whatever the colors, there's too many colors, too many products out there to stock that. But felt paper, synthetic felt paper, the ice and water, the nails, things that we use.
A lot of people.
We save money by.
A lot of people will. I hate to use the word complain, but a lot of people say, "Well, I'll call somebody and they just don't ever get a hold of me." What's your response time?
We tell our customers within 24 hours to 48 hours, someone should be from our salespeople to get back with them
That's good.
to make an appointment.
That's what I mean.
And then they kind of set up a schedule.
Yeah.
And our guys are pretty good. We're not perfect. We're trying our
nobody's
best.
perfect.
Sometimes get busy and stuff.
No.
But
But the
we
response time is-
have a system. It's a computer system that keeps reminding us what our tasks are to make sure that people and customers don't fall through the cracks.
That's a good thing.
So we
So
have technology helping us.
So response time is pretty quick.
24 to 48 hours. Unless it's an emergency, then we'll do our best to be there sooner. Say there's a leak or something, we need to put a cover up.
Sure.
And a lot of times there's no charge on that. A lot of times, just depends what the situation is. We just want to make sure there's no more damage, and then now we're looking at, okay, let's see what the cost is. What do we need to do? What kind of repair? Because if it's pouring down rain or something, you can't be doing a repair.
Of course not.
And there are times where it's icy and dangerous, and our guys do not go because
Well, of course not.
It's not safe.
No.
So if in that case, what we tell the people is, if it's leaking in, take a butter knife or something, poke a hole through it,
Yep. Let it drain.
relieve the pressure, put buckets underneath it, wipe it up, and then as soon as the weather's good,
You'll be there.
we'll do our best to be there.
I have seen you
Yep.
grow and grow and grow,
We've been blessed.
adding trucks, adding people, personnel.
Yes,
and
sir.
I've said this before. Company don't grow unless they're doing something right. And apparently you're checking all the boxes. Apparently.
I'm always telling our guys, hey, as long as we're doing good, people are smiling, let's keep going.
That's all it
The
takes.
minute when we have, we're going the other way, I don't want to be involved no more.
No, I'm not
No.
involved in anything like that.
I want
either.
to sleep good at night,
You bet.
you know.
Daniel, it's been fun having you
I
in
appreciate that.
here. You got to
Appreciate
come back
it.
again sometime.
I will. I'll do better to come by.
All right. I used to see you quite a bit, then you got to where you're so busy, but
Yes, sir.
I always think about you, but I'm glad you took time to come by and say hi
Well,
to us.
we listen to you guys all the time.
Well, thank you. I
know,
appreciate
guys
that.
Talk good.
You got a bunch of good guys,
We do. We
So-
do. We're blessed.
and I am just so happy to see the success.
Thank you.
Because I remember starting out with basically nothing, one man crew, you, and then look what you got now.
That's right.
Fantastic.
And it's not about me. It's about
I
us
know, but
serving the public.
I know how you started out, and I'm real proud of you. That's the
Yeah.
American dream.
I always read books and things, and it's like they say, if you can, to be successful in this world, if you can find something that you can be good at and do it really well where it serves others,
Amen.
you'll be blessed.
We're all supposed to be here to serve one another anyway, in some form
That's right.
or capacity.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Daniel's Roofing. Appreciate you calling. What's that phone number down there to get a hold of somebody?
573-238-3131.
3131 238 3131.
Yes, sir.
And you got folks down there all the time answering the phones.
That's right. We appreciate this station. 106.1. It's pure country. It's got biblical principles
You bet.
right here at the foundation, and that's huge for me.
It's just old fashioned.
Yeah.
That's how we do things. That's
Treat
how you,
others just like you want to be treated.
That's how you do things.
Do our best.
Daniel's Roofing. You got to come by and see me again, all right?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you being here. 11:15 right now at C106.